Hello everybody, what is up, Prof here, and today we're going to be doing a review on Yoshi's New Island on a 3DS. Alright, so this has definitely been a game I've been pretty excited for, basically since I haven't really got to enjoy a new Yoshi's Island game since I played it on the Game Boy Advance in the original Super Nintendo. And basically, yeah, the DS one, I didn't really get into at all. I mean, they had a bunch of new stuff, but I don't know. I didn't really care for how they did it. Anyways, let's go ahead and start this review. Alright, so far for the gameplay, it hasn't exactly changed much from the SNES version, though the flow of the characters and gameplay is a lot better than the original version, and your character seems to get a lot around on a lot nicer pace. As for so far the game, it seems mediocre. It isn't really super amazing, it isn't like mind-blowing and everything, but that's not a bad thing though. I mean, the game is definitely still fun. I haven't gotten bored at all throughout this whole game that I played. But so far I can't seem to help but notice that they haven't really added a whole lot of new things to it, like gameplay or what story-wise and everything. You're basically, game starts out, you see a stork, of course, trying to deliver the Mario and Luigi babies. Drops out on the doorstep. Of course, you see the two footprints of what you think are supposed to be his parents, but actually turns out that they're all like, "What the hell? This isn't our baby. Take this shit back." So Stork's going like, "Oh crap!" Of course, freaking Bowser's minions go and it's like, "Oh, we're gonna steal the babies. Oh crap! We only got Luigi and Mario fell someplace." So of course, you set out on an adventure to try to reunite Mario with his younger brother. But so far, like, what's the gameplay wise? It seems like the main new thing they added, which was a really big change, I'm just kidding, it's actually basically just the egg dozer, which is basically this giant egg that Yoshi sucks in his mouth, poops out his butt like he usually does, but this thing is fucking massive. I was just like, oh, I'm sorry, Yoshi, that does not look like it felt too good pooping that out of yourself. But it's pretty cool because the first one you get to use is just a normal colored one. Kind of breaks through a bunch of the pipes and kind of collects stuff, and it basically clears your way. Second one you got is the metal egg dozer, which basically rolls along and get rid of spikes that are on tubes or just break through things. Or if you need to get to under a water part, you can sit there, it'll weigh you down. I mean, those are kind of cool, but it's only really used for like a handful of the game. So, I mean, it's really the only function of it is to break stuff. So I kind of wish they would have kind of did a bit more stuff with it. But it's like, oh well. The next new part they kind of added in there was Yoshi's transformations, which basically lets you sit there and kind of transform into a helicopter, a train, or submarine, and then you use the gyroscope and basically kind of turn and your 3DS to sit there and steer them. Which are pretty cool, but I kind of feel that they needed to actually have their own levels. Instead, they just kind of seem like a small mini games. So I was kind of sad. I was really hoping those would have actually been full levels. But so far, the game features 6 worlds, each containing 6 levels and 2 castle stages. So overall, the game is honestly pretty fun. I enjoyed it a lot. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else I should really mention and everything. But yeah, oh yeah, so far with the boss fights, I don't know, they seem just kind of mediocre. They don't really, I've gone through quite a few of them, and so far, not really challenging at all. I remember the original Yoshi's Island on the Super Nintendo, they actually gave you challenges after a while. I was like, shit, you really have to you have to kind of use a bit of skill to sit there and beat them. But this one, I just kind of feel like I don't have to try too hard to beat them. And honestly, the imagination behind how the bosses look, I don't know, they're just kind of so-so, and they don't really feel like they took a lot of time designing these bosses. Like, so it's okay. So as for the replay value, I mean, it's a pretty standard game. It's actually, I mean, it is pretty fun. You can definitely replay the levels just for the enjoyment. But if you want it, because there's basically about, if I can remember off the top of my head, 20 red coins, 10 happy flowers, and I think a few other things that you can get throughout the levels, but trying to get them all, every single one of them on all the levels, is probably going to take you a few times. So it'll take you a decent amount of time to completely pass the game, and basically with collecting everything. So it does have a bit of replay value. I haven't got a chance to mess around with the multiplayer, but I imagine that would be pretty fun. So all in all, I think I'm going to go ahead and give this game about a 7.5 out of 10. Don't get me wrong, don't take this as like, oh no, I'm not going to buy this game now. It is actually a really fun game, and I do highly recommend it. So I would say yes, if you're a fan of the previous Yoshi's Islands, go ahead and pick this game up. If you've I don't know. Yeah, I can't really say I don't recommend it, but doesn't mean I'm gonna give it a super high score. Well, and also, yeah, those are my thoughts on Yoshi's Island. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope it was helpful in some way. As always, be sure to rate, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you.